Alright, today we're going to talk about boredom and CrossFit. So, if you have an athlete, like I have two athletes that both want to bring up a certain aspect of their game, one's Olympic lifting, the other is strength and some hypertrophy work, it's pretty easy to follow the whole quickest line from point A to point B is a straight path, or quickest path from point A to point B is a straight line. So, if you need to get stronger, you're going to be on a heavy diet of back squats, doing a lot of shoulder press and bench press, some deadlifting. Really not a lot of variety, not a lot of conditioning, because all we're trying to do is get you strong. And anything else we do other than those major lifts is going to take away from you getting strong. And if you're trying to get good at Olympic lifting, you're going to have to develop a relationship with the bar, meaning you're going to do the full lifts of snatch and clean and jerk a lot, and if you have specific areas where you struggle, like pulls, you're going to be doing those every day. The problem is, when you're a CrossFitter, you get used to, I do those things occasionally, I do some other stuff in there that's nothing at all like what I've been doing. Everyday work looks different. I retest something, and let's be honest, the amount of times you do retests of girl workouts and things like that on a smart program is honestly very infrequently, just because of the fact that you get so much emotion involved with it that you're going to just have a lot of additional stress, more mentally and emotionally than you will physically, from something like redoing a Helen or a Fran, and all the effects that come of it if you can't PR. So most CrossFit gyms don't retest all that often, at least with their serious competitive athletes. They'll do every once in a while a test of a metric. So if you're on a program that's, say, focused on, the 5-minute and below time domain, you'll do Fran as a tester before and Fran as a tester when you're done, so you can ascertain if there's been an actual improvement. Has that block of training worked? But when you're doing something like a strength or weightlifting program, you're doing those same lifts all the time. And you're not going to be able to PR every single time because you're just doing them so much. So, with CrossFitters, I think that really this periodized blocks of instruction or periodized blocks of training can't go beyond 2 months, because you're going to start having fatigue from somebody with fitness ADD. It's like having somebody who can't focus on one class for more than an hour have to sit through 3 hours of class. I'm in grad school at night, and I'm used to 22 years of schooling of 1 hour classes or 1.5 hour classes. So now that I have to sit through 3.5 hour classes all on the same subject, it's a huge struggle to stay focused on a lecture for that long. So I think CrossFitters are going through the same thing. With football players or somebody who grew up with a strength sport background, they're probably more okay with just doing a few movements every single time, because that's the way it's always been from the time they were a kid. But with CrossFitters, a lot of us came to this a little bit later. I was a runner beforehand, so I could go out and run every day. That's no big deal for me. But if I had to go, say, back squat every day, eventually I'm going to get sick of back squatting a lot quicker than I'll get sick of running. So the point of the matter is, if you're starting something like starting strength, or if you're starting something like I'm going to follow one of the Catalyst athletic programs, or anything that's geared for a sport other than CrossFit, or you're choosing a specific strength and conditioning piece to focus on a weak area and then go back to CrossFit, that's fine. Just know you're going to start getting a lot of physical and emotional burnout from doing the same thing over and over again. You'll see great gains, you'll see great progress, but I wouldn't recommend pushing it beyond 6 weeks.